Hi, I'm Joseph Batdorf with J. Turner Research.
And good morning, I'm Turner Batdorf. We are thrilled to be with you today to announce the winners of the 2023 Elite 1%, the premier property power ranking as part of the ORA Power Rankings. So Dad, I thought we could start here. Why don't we talk about why ORA is important to the multifamily industry?
Well, over the last 10 years, we have established a score that represents what true resident satisfaction is at apartment communities around the country. You can find out how you're doing, you can find out how your management company or ownership is doing, how your competitors are doing. It's a way to rank how you're treating residents at the property.
Absolutely. And I know that there are people that may not be familiar with how ORA is calculated. And I think it's very important to note that you don't have to be a J. Turner client to have an ORA score. We actually rank every property in the country that has online reviews. So to be able to get the score, we look at exactly that, the reviews that exist online. And the unique thing about ORA is that we don't limit it to one particular review site. We really go beyond that to get a total and holistic view of the property's online reputation. So what we do each month is we look at the lifetime star ratings and reviews across 13 different review sites, the most relevant sites that residents and prospects are consistently leaving reviews on. And we take those aggregated star ratings and volume of reviews, we run them through our proprietary model, considering the individual factors of each site, looking at how properties compare to each other, to spit out one score between 0 and 100 that gives us a sense of the property's resident satisfaction.
And our goal is to get the genuine feel for what residents are experiencing at their property. Exceptional resident experience translates into a stellar online reputation. The ORA Power Rankings, therefore, is a recognition of the arduous work the teams have put into making residents' lives happy and comfortable. When residents are happy, it limits the negative reviews.
So let's move into talking about the Elite 1% itself. So we mentioned that every property in the country does get an ORA score. But this is a very unique ranking. It kind of is given away in the name to a certain extent, but we are really trying to recognize the best of the best, the top 1% of all properties nationally. Now, there are a few criteria it takes to be on the list. You have to be a conventional multifamily property, and you have to be an apartment community. So things like single-family homes or townhomes would be excluded along with those student and senior properties. So what we do is we take our list of 140,000 properties, knock off the guys that don't fall within those buckets of conventional multifamily apartments, and then we take 1% of those. However, we do include ties. So anybody that is 95 and above this year will be in the Elite 1%.
The Elite 1% has become one of the most awaited power rankings we release. And this year, we are celebrating 10 years of the Elite 1%.
Just for fun, let's review some stats related to the properties that made the Elite 1%. Now, there's a huge misnomer in the industry that I know we're always trying to combat here at J. Turner Research, that the more reviews, the better. The properties that accumulate a lot of reviews, end up making it onto the list. And that's not necessarily true. As you said, this score is really reflective of resident satisfaction. So the thing that really substantiates the best of the best from everyone else is their sentiment, how highly they're being rated by their residents and prospects. So as we've added more properties over time, the Elite 1% cutoff threshold has gotten much more stringent, as we've talked about. It's been a lot more competitive and a lot harder to make it onto the list. And so what was interesting to me was, as I was reviewing the numbers, the average number of reviews and even review sites an Elite 1% property had in comparison to last year went down. Even though the cutoff number went from 94 to 95, that wasn't because these properties added a ton more reviews or even expanded their how many review sites they had reviews on. Where we saw the big improvement was the sentiment of their ratings. So the average star rating for an Elite 1% property is 4.54. That is up from 4.48 last year. And their weighted average star rating, or just average review that they receive, is 4.75, which is up from 4.64 last year. So it really is about how well you are performing across all these review sites in terms of the sentiment. Now, of course, a ranking of this magnitude cannot be done alone. We are very appreciative of the partnership we have had with Multifamily Executive over the last 10 years. And so I want to turn it over to Christine Serling, who is with Multifamily Executive, to talk a little bit further about the ranking.
Thank you, Turner. It's such an honor for Multifamily Executive to be part of this exciting event today and to be J. Turner's exclusive media partner. We now have been partnering with J. Turner for a decade to announce the ORA Power Rankings from the Elite 1% to the top ORA properties in each state on our site, multifamilyexecutive.com. Since then, these monthly ORA rankings have been some of our annual top trending articles. For example, last year's release of the top 100 properties by online reputation had nearly 4,000 page views. These rankings are a fantastic way to recognize the hard work put in by the property management site teams to keep their residents 100% satisfied and happy throughout the life cycle of a community. The Elite 1% rankings recognize the top communities for their excellent online reputation, which they have consistently maintained throughout the year. MFE is proud to partner with J. Turner to announce the Elite 1% properties of 2023 in this exciting live countdown. Let's listen in to find out who made the top 10. And then once the number one community is announced, you can read the complete article breaking down the 2023 rankings and the top 100 communities at multifamilyexecutive.com. So without further ado, I'm handing it back over to Team J. Turner to kick off the countdown.
Thank you, Christine, for the continued partnership. 10 years ago, the ORA Elite 1% represented only 100 properties. Today, it's over 1,200. And the score to get into the Elite 1% back then was 80. Today, it's 95.
Speaking of evolution, and we've come a long way since just an 80 made the list, I really wanted to talk about where we think the ORA score could be headed and where we are headed as a company in terms of understanding resident satisfaction. We've made a tireless effort over the last 3 years to develop our AI model called Einstein, which does text categorization on multifamily reviews. Specifically, what it does is it takes each thought within each review and places it into one of 22 operational categories that specifically relates to the multifamily industry. It also takes each one of those thoughts and categorizes it as positive, which would be a compliment, or negative, which would be a complaint. And the benefit of doing that is we begin to understand the why behind the scores. Of course, all the ratings and different things that we use to determine the ORA score now are fantastic, and they do give us a sense of the property's resident satisfaction. But to truly understand what is contributing to resident satisfaction to be good or bad is really, really valuable, and of course would take a ton of time to be able to do that actually by hand, especially for 140,000 properties. With all that being said, what we can do is we can aggregate all this data. So we were able to take the lifetime reviews across a few really key review sites, and for the Elite 1% properties, hand out some awards which recognize what they have done to specifically reach those upper echelons of resident satisfaction. So this year we're going to be rolling out the Einstein Best of Awards, which celebrates the communities that are doing the best on 5 key categories.
So, without further ado, let's get started. Today we're going to cover the top 10 Elite 1% properties and the top 5 management companies with the highest percentage of Elite 1% properties.
And then, of course, we are going to jump in and give those Einstein Best of Awards.
A decade of excellence kicks off with our 10th ranked community in ORA for 2023. It's important to know, by the way, there was a tie in ORA scores. We went by the decimal point. Number 10 is the Vintage of Burkett Station of Antioch, Tennessee, built in 2017 and managed by Management and Marketing Concepts with an ORA score of 99.
Coming in at number 9, we got Valentina by Alta of San Diego, California, built in 2019 and managed by Wood Partners, also with a score of 99.
Coming in at number 8 is the Slate Apartments of Omaha, Nebraska, built in 1966 and managed by New Style Management with a score of 99.
All right, Moving on to number 7, we have Park Place 1 Apartments of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, this property was built in 1988 and managed by Fidelity Management with a score of 99. It was also our reigning number 1 property from last year's ranking.
Coming in at number 6 is the residence of James Place of Winchester, Ohio, built in 2023 and managed by Wilcox Communities with an ORA score of 99.
And that brings us to the halfway point. So now that we are on the precipice of announcing the top 5, I think it's a great opportunity to share the 5 winners of the Einstein Best of Awards. Just to clarify how this was determined, we specifically looked at the lifetime reviews every property within the Elite 1% had received. We first looked to see who had gotten the fewest complaints related to our 5 key categories, and also looked at who had gotten the most compliments. Based on the ratio between positive comments to negative comments, we determined our winner for each of these categories. It is important to note though, however, the properties did have to have reviews going back longer than 1 year in order to make it onto the list.
So the 5 categories are customer service, communication, maintenance, cleanliness, and move-in quality.
Why did we pick these 5 categories? These categories happen to pop up the most often within online reviews, but are also fairly controllable at the property level. So for example, customer service, one of the ones you brought up, many people may be surprised to note that that actually appears in about 60% of all multifamily reviews. So if you're doing a great job at avoiding complaints and getting compliments related to your customer service, you're probably doing pretty well. Now, because you are doing so well, I will also mention at this point that you are going to get a nice little trophy sent to you, recognizing you for being the expert in this particular operational category. So with that said, let's move into our first award, which is, in fact, Customer Service Genius.
The Customer Service Genius Award is based on ratings and reviews that reflect topics including on-site team member sentiment, willingness to help, empathy, problem solving, and rules enforcement.
Congratulations to the Eldon Galleria, managed by Wood Residential.
Next up is our second award, recognizing excellence with maintenance, aptly named Maintenance Magician.
The Maintenance Magician Award is based on ratings and reviews that reflect topics such as initial completion of work orders, timeliness of maintenance, air condition, and elevator functionality at the community.
Congratulations. Another one from Wood Residential is the Madison at Marshfield.
Our third award recognizes excellence in communication, the Communication Connoisseur.
The Communication Connoisseur Award is based on ratings and reviews that reflect topics such as responsiveness and timely follow-up with accurate information from the on-site team members.
And again, Wood Residential, congratulations at Alta Waverly.
Fourth, we move to our move-in quality master, the person that excelled with helping their residents get into their new home.
The Move-In Quality Master Award is based on ratings and reviews that reflect topics such as the cleanliness and condition of apartment upon move-in and the ease of the move-in process.
Congratulations to Bizzuto for Geo Midtown.
And our last, but certainly not least, Einstein Best of Award recognizes excellence with cleanliness, again named very aptly, the Pristine Sanctuary Prodigy.
The Pristine Sanctuary Prodigy Award is based on ratings and reviews that reflect topics such as the general cleanliness of the property and the apartments, specifically measuring dirtiness, litter, odors, and the occurrences of mold.
Congratulations to Cortland for Cortland Brackenridge. Congratulations again to the top 5 inaugural Einstein Best of Awards. Now let's get back to the top 5 Elite 1% properties.
Now before we dive into our 5th ranked property, you guys probably noticed that 6 through 10 were ranked 99, and spoiler alert, 5 through 1 are also going to be ranked 99. Just a reminder, it is possible to have a 100 ORA score. We did not unfortunately have anyone reach that threshold just this year, but we did separate out these properties and rank them by that decimal place. So these top 5 here just slightly beat out the ones we had previously covered, 6 through 10.
Number 5 is Hawthorne Waterstone of Morrisville, North Carolina, built in 2020 and managed by Hawthorne Residential Partners.
Moving on to number 4, we have One Cathedral Square of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This property was built in 2022 and is managed by the Bizzuto Group.
Number 3 is Uptown Oxmoor of Louisville, Kentucky, built in 2019 and managed by NTS Development.
And our runner-up property, number 2 in all the country, Hanover Crossing Residences, which is based out of Hanover, Massachusetts, built in 2022 and managed by Hanover.
So let's switch gears and recognize the top 5 management companies. Behind each community in our Elite 1% rankings are great companies who make resident experience a top focus. Let us recognize and celebrate the management companies with the largest percentage of Elite 1% properties in their portfolio, and they can expect this trophy.
Wow, that is a beautiful trophy. I know the companies that are on this list have deserved that because it takes a lot of effort from the top down in order to make this particular list. And just to give you guys some information about how we formulated this list of management companies, there was a minimum threshold of total properties within your portfolio that you needed to have. So anybody that had 20 properties in their portfolio in total were eligible for this award. And so what we did was we used smart apartment data and the management company website to get a total number of properties, took the number of properties they had in the Elite 1%, did a little division, and we came up with the percentages that we're gonna talk about today.
So the 5th ranked company with 23% of their portfolio in the Elite 1% is J.C. Hart of Carmel, Indiana.
Moving on to number 4, with 32% of their portfolio in the Elite 1%, basically 1/3, is Hawthorne Residential Partners of Greensboro, North Carolina.
Congratulations to number 3, the 3rd ranked company with 34% of their portfolio in the Elite 1% is Wood Residential of Atlanta, Georgia.
On to number 2, with 36% of their portfolio in the Elite 1%, we have RKW Residential of Charlotte, North Carolina.
And drum roll, congratulations, the number 1 ranked company with an astounding 71% of their properties in the Elite 1% is Hanover Company from Houston, Texas.
Congratulations to the 5 companies who made the top 5 list. Please be on the lookout. Multifamily Executive is going to feature the top 10 management companies in the country when they publish their article.
So here we are. The number 1 property in the country in the Elite 1% is Highland Ridge Apartments of Charlotte, North Carolina, built in 2022 and managed by Charter Properties with an ORA score of 99.
That's fantastic. Congratulations to Highland Ridge on being the number 1 property in the country as ranked by ORA. That's a huge accomplishment, of course, and a real testament to everything you've been doing to take care of your residents. As far as moving forward, please be sure to check out multifamilyexecutives.com. Right after this concludes, they're going to release the full list of the Elite 1%, which does consist of a little over 1,200 properties, not just the 10 that we covered here today. The top 100 of you are going to receive a complimentary trophy from J. Turner Research to recognize your accomplishment. However, if you are one of those other 1,100 plus that did make the list, you can visit jturnerresearch.com and order some swag, including trophies to recognize your achievement. Last but not least, if you are not on the Elite 1% yet, and you are curious about where you stand in terms of that cutoff of 95, you can also go to jturnerresearch.com and request your ORA score, or you can visit our ORA app in the App Store on both Apple and Android.
So that wraps up our coverage today, and we just want to let you know that if you keep working hard like these companies do and concentrate on resident satisfaction, you too will be on this list. Thank you for joining us.